Well, kids, we meet here once again. Yeah, it's threatening thunderstorms. I don't know if you see any lightning in the sky. See any lightning? There we go. Yeah, there's a severe thunderstorm coming this way. Drinking my water and talking to you all. I'm scrap life streaming right now. That's about all I'm good for right now at the moment. Because it was really, that the heat index was what was the killer today. I mean, it was 92 degrees with a heat index of 111, and man, I hardly felt motivated to do anything. Just saps the energy out of you. Got a few things done, but not satisfied with my progress, that's all. I was watching that scrap farm video, like one of the latest ones. You know, he's seen one of those electric, you know, those toy Jeep type cars. You know, the ride-on ones. And, you know, some scrapper or something like that probably yanked the battery out, because when he opened the hood, there was no battery, and the wires were cut. I don't think the guy responded to me. I'm like, do those things sell at, like, you know, at the Flea? Because I would definitely round up a few of those. I'm still flea market dreaming. Never been to one. I mean, when I was a kid, I used to ride my bike up there and pull a big wagon along, 53-foot wagon. No, more like a 10-foot wagon that I custom made. And I would set it up, and then when I got a car, when I was able to drive when I was 16, I would take all kinds of stuff to the flea market, and even fake antifreeze. I would take old empty antifreeze bottles that I found behind the gas station and fill them up with water and put food coloring in there to make it look like antifreeze, and put an aluminum foil thing on the top, glue it on. Wasn't going to ruin the person's car. It just wasn't antifreeze, it was water. That was back in the day when a gallon of antifreeze was like $4.50 a gallon. Now it's like what? $14, $15 a gallon, something like that. Yeah, it's always been kind of expensive, but whatever. Paperback books. People used to, you know, buy like a whole trove of them. I had thousands of them. You know, and somebody would just buy like, you know, a whole bunch for, you know, a nickel or a dime each. They'd come with like a garbage bag or whatever, and, you know, I'd count them out, and yeah, the flea market was a lot cheaper than it is now. I forgot. I priced it like several months ago, but I forgot exactly what they want. The thing is, the closest decent flea market from here is like 40 miles away. What is it? It's Swaporama in Alsip, Illinois. So that's a time investment, that's a gasoline investment, and then, you know, getting the space, which on Saturday is a lot cheaper than on Sunday, but I guess you get more customers on Sundays for whatever reason. So I haven't taken the plunge. it's actually a pretty labor intensive thing. You know, to actually break even and then make money, I would need somebody to help me. One of my kids, and they're kind of not interested. You know, they got girlfriends and jobs and stuff like that. School. They got their own life. And my old lady is basically handicapped, so she can't. She can't do that. She can hardly walk. Still, like over a year after having COVID, she's got problems with her knees and stuff like that. Like the joints in her knees don't work right, so she can't really walk. Plus, she's out of shape. I'm sure she doesn't want to hear that. You know, so all that piles up into somebody being basically, for all intents and purposes, handicapped. They're not going to be able to. I mean, she might be able to sit down and sell things, but she's not going to be able to walk around and set things up and move items and heavy objects and stuff like that. All the hard labor would be on on me. I should just go there and try it a couple times just by myself and see what happens. Just I don't want to spoil it for myself and end up getting frustrated that it actually cost me money and I didn't make money. Stick to what you know, King. Scrapping. Yep, that's what I do. I stick to what I know. You know what I mean? Finding and picking up scraps, because I don't really do very well with the Facebook Marketplace. I mean, my daughter put it on hers. Yeah, female profile, ha ha ha. But it takes somebody that's got patience to constantly answer, you know, the millions of questions. And I'm the wrong guy. I'm not the man for that. Sorry. Then you gotta give people directions and stuff like that. And if it's at the compound, people can't find the place. It's kind of too far out of the way. You give them the address, and the address doesn't come up on the Maps app. It sends you to some other place. Do porch pickups, you know what I mean? With the cheap items and stuff like that, like, you know, $20 or $25 or less. You know, I just tell the people to leave the money in the T. Hanks box. Actually, the planter vase. That's my T. Hanks box. Thanks. T. Hanks. Tom Hanks. T. Hanks. Worse. But I got a whole bunch of stuff sitting on the porch still that people, you know, they were coming for it. They were coming, we're coming for it, we're coming for it, and they never come, never show up. There's a couple things that have been outside on the front porch for like 4 months now. I think I should just throw them in the back of the pickup truck and get rid of them. Yeah, my gig really mainly is just curbside pickup, scrap, break the material down at the compound, and haul it to the scrapyard. Nothing glamorous. Doesn't get the millions of eyeballs like, you know, dumpster diving. All those dumpster diving videos, you know, those channels and stuff like that. People love that stuff. That or I don't know, I have a lot to think about to improve my channel. I think it was doing okay, like at first, my channel was, until I monetized it. And because I was like looking at the stats, my channel stats, and the day that I monetized my channel, the stats went like down precipitously. Like the subscriber growth was a lot faster than it is now. Once I turned on the monetization, it like stopped the growth of the channel. It actually like practically stopped. It's kind of weird. I don't know if monetizing a channel puts you in a different algorithm or something like that, but before I had advertisements, the channel was growing, and when I put ads on my videos, the channel practically stopped growing. It's really weird. That's a little idiosyncrasy of YouTube that's never been explained. The very day that I switched it on, like within a week, it's like people stopped watching and people stopped subscribing. Go figure. For the longest time, I didn't have ads on my channel because I couldn't figure out how to get it to work, and my daughter one day was messing with the computer because I couldn't monetize it using my iPhone. And then one day I was just playing around with my iPhone, and it's like YouTube changed the settings for the Creator Studio or something, and I was able to monetize it, like right then and there. It was weird. I remember I bought a pair of shock absorbers and an alternator at AutoZone, and I was sitting in the parking lot, I don't know, contemplating my next move, and I was fiddling with YouTube, and yeah, all of a sudden, I don't know, it doesn't make sense to anybody, but all of a sudden I was able to access a feature where I was able to turn on monetizing this channel. I know people were like, use Creator Studio. I'm like, Creator Studio? What the hell is that? I mean, if somebody said Creator Studio app, I would have clicked. I would have been like, oh, I didn't even know that existed. This is like back in 2019, I think. I monetized this channel. January? Yeah, January 6th, 2019. And on that very day, the channel stopped growing. Well, King, don't put ads on your videos. I had people clamoring for me to put ads on my videos. For like the longest time, I had subscribers going, you need to put, you know, because I had all the parameters. I had over 1,000 subscribers, and I had well over 4,000 watch hours, so I was good to go. But then again, I look at some other YouTube creators, and they don't even have 1,000 subscribers. Like Scrapping Together, I don't think he's got 1,000. And Build a Junking Fool, I don't think he's got 1,000. And both of them have been on for a while. I don't know. They're scrapping channels. I mean, what don't they have that other scrapping channels do have. Like, why aren't people drawn to those channels like they are drawn to other channels? Does that make sense? Am I making you all yawn? I know I'm yawning. It keeps looking like it's going to thunderstorm and rain, and it's not. And it's so humid out. You want to know something that's kind of weird? Is they just changed the street light right here to a LED. That street light's an LED. And like 3 days ago, there was a sodium vapor type street light up there, and it had a bazillion bugs flying around it. And this LED does not have any bugs flying around it. I find that kind of weird. I know LED lights, they flash. There's like a flash. And as they age, the flash gets slower until it becomes like a flicker, and then a really slow flash, and then it just stops working altogether. They say they're supposed to last 25 years, but that might last like between 3 and 5 years, I would imagine. The technology is not here. It's not here yet. You know, those LEDs, that was invented way back in, what, 1973? By a guy here in Illinois. Of course, the first LEDs were not as efficient, and they didn't last as long as they do now. And only like in the past few years have they actually caught on. Because I guess there was some technological breakthrough to make them actually work and function and look and illuminate like a kind of like a normal light, even though I don't really care for this kind of light. It's sort of, I missed the sodium vapor one, which was kind of yellowish a little bit. This has got kind of like a sickening bluish hue to it. Strangely though, the one down there, that's also an LED, but it's dimmer than this one. This one's brighter. And one down there in the corner down there is a lot dimmer. See the shadow that it's casting on the street? Look at the shadow here. That's a big difference. That one down there traditionally has only lasted for several days, and then for some reason it stops working. I don't know if a neighbor down there shoots it out so it can stay dark, because people come along on my block right here and they park their car right about there, and they do nefarious things like backseat activities and smoking weed, drinking, etc. But that's when the light was out. Now that the light has been on for the past 3 days, I've noticed there hasn't been any cars sitting there. Look at that. The camera's kind of blurry there. Which I feel safer. There's nobody hiding in the dark corner over there. It's kind of creepy. Unsettling to know that there's like a pair of eyeballs looking back at you and you can't even see them. And I'm waiting for this storm that was rumbling a little bit of thunder, but seems to be like holding out. Yesterday we were supposed to get 4 inches of rain, and I think we got about 1.